Welcome, everyone. In this session, we're going to talk about the internal control. This is one of the new paper for AQA 2022. And before it was part of the synoptic, but from September 2022, this one will have a separate exam. Now let's have a look what we have and in detail about this paper. Now, first thing we have to know, this paper is mainly to find it out the error or the lack of control. Now, this paper is very much linked with your audit and assurance in the level 4 paper, but if you haven't done this paper, it's still fine, you can do it. So with the syllabus overview, we can have a look here. They are saying this paper is very much linked with your level 3 business awareness. So if you have done the business awareness in level 3, then it will give you sort of advantage to complete this paper, and some of the topic will be familiar with you. And also applied management accounting. That means this two paper, management accounting, budgeting, and management accounting costing, and level 4 audit and assurance. Now, all these three paper will give you sort of advantage to complete this paper a little bit easier, but if you haven't done any of this paper, it doesn't mean you cannot do this exam, but you have to be like kind of learn everything new. So you might not feel like you know some topic already. That's the difference. Other than this paper is completely okay. So this paper will be fully or completely, I would say, writing paper. But the good news is a few questions will be just MCQ. So you have to just choose the multiple choice question and true and false, this sort of question. So it's not like always you have to write every single question we have. So let's have a look what we have here. So first thing we have to understand, this paper is all about like how to establish the proper internal control in the system, what is the weakness, how to solve the weakness, especially in the budgeting process, especially in the payroll, and especially the area for the cost benefit analysis. So this is a very, very common question you're going to see in the exam. Now, if we look at our area of marking and the question waiting area, so you can have a look like this exam will be based on computer, so computer based assessment. Any exam for AAT, that will be computer based assessment. Marking type, it will be partially marked by the computer. That means any question that we choose through multiple choice question or true and false, and this sort of question that will be marked by the computer, and partially it will be marked by human. That means any writing question will be marked by the human. So if any exam that is marked by both computer and human, it takes a roughly 5 weeks to 6 weeks to get the result. So you'll get like the result within 5 to 6 weeks. The exam duration is 2.5 hours. So the exam duration will be 2.5 hours. So you have to answer 5 questions within 2.5 hours. That is quite enough time. Now, the exam is new. So of course, like you're expecting, it's not going to be that hard. And you will have like sort of a straightforward question. So you will know exactly what will be in the exam if you can make yourself ready in advance. Now, learning outcome, you can see question number 1 will be understand the role of responsibilities of the accounting function. So first question expecting from the accounting function, 10 marks will be from this question. Evaluate internal control system. This area will give you 25 marks. This is one of the area where you have to check the test of control. So the control system business have or exists, is it working properly or not? That we're going to find it out from this question. The next one, we have evaluate an organization accounting system and underpinning the procedure. So from this area, we're expecting another 25 marks. Then understanding the impact of technology on accounting system. Now this one is kind of new. It wasn't before, like with the internal control and system, the old paper, we don't have this thing. So this is kind of the new edition for your AQA 2022. So there will be 15 marks or 15% will be from that area. Recommend improvement to organization accounting system. So recommendation is always there. So first you have to find the weakness, then you have to tell how to improve this weakness. That will give us another 25 marks in the exam. So this is the area we have to cover for our assessment. Now let's have a look a little bit detail the assessment question area. So we will have 5 tasks in the exam, and obviously like this 5 tasks will be from all the chapters we have from the book. So task 1 will be purpose, structure, and organization of the accounting function. So type of question will be pick, list, and tick. So that means this question we really don't have to write anything. We just need to pick the answer from the list, and we have to tick is it true or false or something like that. That will give us almost 25 marks. Task 2, type of fraud in the workplace combined with the way of in which it can be prevented and detected. Again, it will have some pick list, take, and return. So it will be the mixed question. So question number 2 will be mix. The area will cover system and control, so and accounting system both. Question number 3, effectiveness of internal control. Type of question, pick, list, and tick. Again, this question don't have to write anything. So question number 1, question number 3, you don't have to write anything, just you need to choose the right answer. System of internal control, accounting system, this is the area I'll cover for this question. Task 4, monitoring of accounting system and how they work in practice. So pick, list, take, and return. So it will be the mix of all of these 3. And the question will be coming from accounting system. Task number 5, the analysis of internal control with a recommendation to improve while considering impact on users. So what is the impact on the user to improvement or recommendation? So here you will have an area from impact on technology and making changes to the system. Again, type of question, you have a pick list, tick, and return question. So we can see here question number 1 and 3 will be really quicker because there is no writing in this 2 question, but question number 2 and question number 4 and 5. Now question number 5 is normally come from cost and benefit analysis, and this is very common in the exam, cost and benefit analysis. So this is the area we have to cover as well. Now let's look at our AAT portal. Let's have a look what we have there. Now on the AAT portal, obviously like you can see if you log into your MyAT and if you open the internal accounting system and control, the first thing we're going to look at this area you can practice, but I want you to first have a look this one, the reference material for live assessment. Reference material for live assessment. Now this reference material will be relevant to your exam, and you'll be able to read it before the exam. Now sometimes we called it pre-release material before. For the synoptic exam for level 4, they give you the pre-release materials, but now for this exam, internal accounting system and control, it will not be too big, that area. So I think like that will not give you the full story, but you will have some information or the company background, like what sort of company it is, what's the plan, who is the responsible for what. But when I check the practice assessment, there is some little bit changes there, but obviously, as I said, this is not very difficult because the company background is not very relevant here, and only small information you have. Now, if you look at this one, the reference material and the live assessment, and we can see here where it says internal control and internal accounting system and control, and this one is published in July 2022. So here we have Downtown Instrument Limited. Scenario: you are Lindsay Willing, an accounting technician working for Downtown Instruments Limited company. Background history. So you can see this one, recent performance. Then we have here employee survey, stuff, and that's it. So you don't have much thing, to be honest, here. Just like it will not take even 5 minutes just quickly to read that. And if you read a few times, so you'll understand what is the company background information. So this will be relevant for your live assessment. So age level 4 live assessment. So for your live exam, this information will be relevant. So you need to make sure you read this one a few times so that when you answer the question, sometimes you can link it. Even though if you don't link your answer with the company background, you'll still get the marks. But if you link it, for example, if you said the business performance, so for example, if you say without day-to-day direction, Alex see the director have adopted their own strategy for the taking area of the business forward. So when you're writing a question, if you give this a reference, for example, Alex is the director and he don't delay in this area and he is like using his own strategy. So if you link any of the reference material on your answer, it will give you some extra advantage and it will give you some more marks, but doesn't mean if you don't link it at all, you're not going to get any marks. You'll still get more than 80% marks, even if you don't use your reference material information at all. But reference material will give you additional benefit to get some extra score in the exam. So you need to make sure you read this one few times so that you can understand and you can have this on your head. What is the company background information? And it is only one live assessment reference material, so you really don't have to read other for that. But in the exam, the story will be different, but that will be linked with that. Okay, now we're going to open one of the practice assessment. Let's have a look on practice assessment. So I'm opening practice assessment 1. And in this assessment, you have some information. For example, how long the exam is, 2 hours and 30 minutes, and 5 tasks, and 100 marks. Then few information, what you can write, what you cannot write. This is a very common, and obviously like this is for every exam, it is same. Then you have to look at the scenario. This task is in assessment are based on scenario for Enable Limited. You are Taylor Jones, an accounting technician working for Enable Limited. The company has recently undergone a management buyout, which has resulted in a new management team being brought in, including a managing director. So you can see this is the company information. But obviously, remember, this company information is just a link with this all the question, but it is not a very much like you have to write a lot about that area. You can connect the reference material, but as I said to you, is it depends like how much you can. So you really don't have to worry too much about the reference material. Now, obviously, you can see they changes the way we used to do the AT exam. Remember that before the AT exam was with the Syllabus viewer. So you have a window, you insert the code, and you have access the exam. Now the exam system is changed. So it will be now psiexam.com. So you'll follow another window now. So that will be a little bit different. That changes a few things. For example, now on the right corner, you can see the index. And from the index, you can highlight, you can clear the highlight, you can look at the reference material, and you can flag on the screen the way we can do here, flag. But obviously, it's not like before. So you have to follow the new window exam for this AQA 2022. So it's not the way we did exam before. So it will be a new way you have to do the exam. So you need to be a little bit used to from your A2 website. If you practice a few questions, you'll be absolutely fine. Now, once you read this one, you have to click continue. Remember that once you continue this one, obviously like you'll not be able to return this page, but it's not necessary because whatever you have, this company background information, you'll be able to still see that. So it's not like if I continue, I cannot come back. I can always see the information. Let me show you how. So if I click continue here, then I can still see this task. So you can see the task. So if I just click question number 1 for 21 marks, you can see the first question we have just need to say true or false, or I have to say is it which one is the right one. You have to pick and true and false. This sort of question we'll look at question number 1. So question number 1 will be really, really quick because you really don't have to write anything. So you really don't have to spend too much time to complete your question number 1. So this is the first question you'll do, and this is how the exam template will look like now. So it was before different. Now you'll do this way. So the time will be counted in the top before. So if you look at your time, so it will be on the top right corner, total time remaining. And the next thing is once you've done the exam, you have to click submit the answer. So here all the information you need. Now there are a few information like the keyboard shortcut. So it's not necessary because we're going to use your mouse for the flag or for other things. So keyboard shortcut, if you like to know, you can know. Other than it's not very important. And then we have here the contrast. So if you like to change anything for the monitor, you can do that. But as I said, it is not required or it is not necessary unless you have some issues with your eyes. So this is the way you can do the exam. Once you finish the first exam, I'll be first do the next question, and that's how we can carry on. Now, obviously, like from the practice question, once even you've done all the question, you will be able to only get the answer for the question that choose and pick or pick list or true and false. You're not gonna get any answer for the question for the writing part, because this is the automated assessment and it will not give you for the full assessment mark. So you're not gonna you will not be able to check your answer as well. So it's just for your practice. And if you click the submit assessment, it will give you that warning. So it will say you want to submit assessment, you will not be able to go back. So you need to make sure you check all the answer you have done before you submit the assessment. Now, question number 2, again, it will be the mixed question with pick and choose, and we have to write some question here, answer as well. Then we have a question number 3, again, mixed question. And question number 3 is quite a small question. Question number 4 will be a little bit bigger to write, and we'll have some pick and choose as well. Question number 5 will be again the writing question. Here you have to write a sort analysis or pestle analysis. So if you practice few question, and you will exactly know question number 4 and 5, what question will be there. So question number 4, 5, basically either the question will ask you for the SWOT analysis, that is strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So this is the 4 area you have to be right. And either this one or that will be relevant to the cost benefit analysis. So you have to say how much is the cost, how much is the benefit for this new approach or new system company is planning to introduce. So this is the one like you have to cover from that area. But if you practice few question from the A2 website and also from the question bank, you will be absolutely ready for your exam. And as I said, this is the first time introducing this exam, so it will be quite straightforward, and it's not going to be that difficult, because obviously there is still building up so many things, and they will make it a little bit straightforward for the student as the new window they introduce for this exam. So this is the question. You can all company background information. You can click on the right side on the reference, and you can see the company background information. Reference, you can go back, and reference material have assessment information, company information. So you can, and the task 5, that question we are doing now. So you can look at which one you like. If I like to see the company information again, I can always look at that. So there is nothing like is a difficult here, but if you get a little bit used to that, this will help you for your exam, so that you know exactly where to click to find what. So company information is quite simple. As I said, in 10 minutes, you'll be able to read that. But the reference material I show you at the earlier period, that will be relevant to your exam, but still you need to read the company information, because there might be a little bit changes. For example, when you look at the practice assessment 1 and practice assessment 2, it's almost same, but a little bit difference we have here. So you need to make sure you quickly read the company scenario before you actually go for the exam. So it's very important, like we quickly read that, and then you start your exam. So take 10 minutes, just quickly read your company information. But the reference material you can always read before your exam. And on the exam day, you can just look at the company information to see if there are any changes. If it is everything same, then you're absolutely fine. But they might give you some changes. And also in the question, they'll give you some more scenario. For example, if you look at this question, question number, for example, question number 4, you can see the accounting system and how they work in practice. And the purchase and recording of asset, non-current asset with a value of 750 or above must be authorized by Harvey Smith, the finance director. All other assets are authorized by the department manager. So you can see this one, they have this information. They'll give you some additional information anyway. So with the company background information, you have to read all of this as well. So once you practice these questions from the A2 website, and also practice the question from your question bank, you will be absolutely ready for your exam. I hope like these videos will help you to understand about your internal system and control. And obviously, like the more focus point for this exam will be make sure you are practicing a lot of writing question, because this is the area a student find difficult. So you need to make sure you don't do any spelling mistake. Try to make it less as much as possible, because when you write the answer, if you made a spelling mistake, it's not going to show it is a spelling mistake. So the examiner might cut some marks for you if you make the mistake. But remember, even if you have a little bit spelling mistake, and if the examiner understand it, they can still give you the marks, because they don't look for the spelling too much, because they want to see you understand the concept and you're writing the right answer. But always be careful with the spelling. Also, like your typing, so you need to make sure you have a standard level of typing, because writing question Obviously, like you have to write a lot, and if your typing speed is not like a little bit standard level, maybe you will be running out of time for the exam. So for this exam, you have to make sure like your typing is a little bit okay and the spelling is okay. Other than this, exam will be not difficult because only 5 questions, 2.5 hours, absolutely will be fine. But make sure you revise well so that you know what question will be in question number 1, what question will be question number 2, so that you don't have to be surprised on the exam day. You know exactly what question you're going to see on which number. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Hopefully, this exam will be obviously like the new exam for the AQ 2022, but obviously it will be very straightforward exam. And hopefully, if you practice enough, you will pass this exam in first attempt.